is more liberal, more tolerant, more Democrat-leaning than the one before. It's not just because they're young.
For another point of view, it's Hard News with Russell Brown and Wammo on Kiwi.
You can find the Hard News blog over at publicaddress.net, and you also find Russell Brown on the Media 7 show on TVNZ7, and also here on the show as well. Good day there, Russell.
Good morning.
Hey, let's talk Nethui 2011, Shaping Our Future Together. It kicks off today in Auckland. What's it all about?
It's a conference run by Internet NZ, who are an interesting organisation that I would guess most people haven't heard of. Basically, when you register any internet domain name that ends in .nz, so nzherald.co.nz, after retail margins, the fee for that goes to Internet NZ.
Right.
Which uses it to run the .nz registry, so the database that identifies what domain name is what and what IP address it's associated with.
Golly, they'd have a stack of money, wouldn't they?
Yeah, it's about $6 million a year. Now, a good part of that goes to actually physically running the thing, but the rest of it goes towards advocating for an open and uncapturable internet.
Okay.
They've actually played a role beyond the internet in the last few years of being basically the balance to the copyright lobby.
Yeah.
And it, in a way, I'm sure that the likes of Rianne's, who have a .nz domain name, don't particularly appreciate their fee being used in that way. But if there had not been that voice, it's hard to imagine how some of our controversial copyright law might have gone.
Yeah.
Because this is always the problem with copyright law, is that you don't actually have anyone speaking up for the user.
And thankfully, Internet NZ is there.
Now,
now
this is their first big conference of the kind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, and so they've got a whole bunch of talking heads, people in the know, to get together and discuss some pretty big issues. What are they?
Oh, governance, law, accessibility. I mean, one of the people that we're borrowing for Media 7 this week, Alan Strickland, is the Secretary of the Pacific Islands Internet Society. And we tend to forget that the internet is important to not just our comfortable Western OECD countries, but to developing countries as well. So that will be discussed. Who runs the internet is always an interesting question. And some of the people that they've got lined up there are pretty interesting, actually. The likes of Judge David Harvey, who's always been the cyber judge, is on a couple of panels, and he has literally written the book on internet law in New Zealand.
Yeah.
So there'll be quite a lot of that. I guess I'm a little bit disappointed that the arts and creative community isn't well represented. But I think one criticism that could be made of the conference is that it's full of people who are going to agree with each other.
Right.
And maybe it might have been interesting to have had some music industry people. They're not ogres.
Some content creators.
Yeah, some content creators and even people who sell stuff.
Yeah.
It's resolutely non-commercial.
Okay.
The lineup of people here, but.
Well, there's one thing I keep on seeing, this thing called digital citizenship. What does that actually mean?
Basically, being a citizen online. I'm actually part of that stream on Thursday at about 1:30, talking about building. From my point of view, I'm talking about building online communities with reference to the one that we've built around public address, which is it's 2 or 3 tens of thousands of people at various times.
Yeah.
And how you keep people engaged, and what the value of doing that is.
And also how to get people, because I know I'm often trapped either inside Twitter or Facebook, and how do you get them back out onto the web to discover what else is out there?
Yeah, exactly. And and for that matter, how you get them to organise in the real world.
Yeah.
I think those are interesting questions as well. There's quite a lot because Internet NZ provides the majority of funding for NetSafe, who are the organisation you'll often hear whenever there's a scare story about kids on the internet, NetSafe will be quoted, that there's quite a lot at the conference on cyber safety, and maybe not enough on the more positive elements of being a citizen online and what role you can play. Because when you look at what the internet's done for us in terms of people being informed citizens, I think we tend to forget what has been achieved. Things like government reports, even when we had the Official Information Act, which dates back to Muldoon, hardly anyone saw these things. Now, pretty much everything is there to anyone who wants to get it. I mean, basically, things used to be printed out and, maybe if they were feeling wild and crazy and, technically sophisticated, faxed to someone. Now, all this stuff is on the internet. It's available for research. And I think it has improved, the quality of our interaction with government.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be quite a 3 days, I think, and the keynote is Professor Lawrence Lessig, who's the fascinating commentator on copyright issues. So
he's come over from the States.
Yeah, he's been over before.
Yeah.
But what will be interesting is whether he has much to say about Barack Obama, because I actually interviewed him, Lessig, last time he came, and he was about to go back and work the phones for the Obama campaign.
That's right.
It was the election.
Yeah.
And it would be fair to say that the White House has not done a lot for the kind of issues that Lessig is interested in. In fact, they've pretty much continued the same policy of persecuting users and sticking up for the copyright lobby.
No matter who the president is, they're always going to be a letdown.
Yeah.
So there is a section there called The Future of Content and Media in a Digital World. So I would encourage anyone out there who's a content creator, whether in the music, the arts, or journalism, whatever, to go along and check that out and be part of the discussion. But there is the live... The
conference is full up.
Oh, is it?
Unfortunately. But you can see any of it on live stream and on Zoom, and there'll be bits on YouTube. If you go along to the website, nethui, nethui.org.nz, there are links right on the homepage to video of the conference. So I think they've done really well with that. Yeah. They made the conference $35 to attend for 3 days.
Cheap as.
Which is marvellous. I think that's really cool.
So if you're working today, you can always just have the live video stream, use the boss's internet, just in there in the corner, and tune in whenever something interesting pops up.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Thanks very much, Russell.
Righto.
Cheers.
Bye.
Russell Brown at publicaddress.net, also the Media 7 show on TVNZ7.